Suzanne Monk, host of the original all-live Periscope cast all about Donald Trump. Trump Talk US, welcome to the show. It has been another great day in the world of Donald J. Trump. As you all know, today was Saturday. Today was the day Donald Trump went down to an African-American church in Detroit and spoke and listened and engaged the people. Absolutely, it was great. He was great today. He's great now. He did a great job today. Today, Donald Trump attended a sermon and a meeting at the Great Faith International Ministries led by Bishop Wayne Jackson. He had an opportunity to sit, listen to the pastor, listen to the sermon, listen to the service, engage people in that way very humbly, and then was given an opportunity to speak after the service. Excellent speech. Absolutely fantastic speech. Thank you. You can get this sign on Amazon. They're like $7. They're great for flagging on the street corners, waving hogs for Trump. It's a thing. Anyway, Google it. I don't have to explain it all to you. You guys, I'm going to post the reprint from Donald Trump's page on the Trump Talk US Facebook page so you can read his comments. Because, first off, let me just say, what kind of balls does it take to do something that no Republican has done in a very long time, and that is go into, especially, not just any Republican, it's Donald Trump. Everybody's been calling him a racist since the beginning of time. So, not even the beginning of time, so just the beginning of the campaign. He wasn't a racist until he decided to run for office, interestingly enough. But certainly, race is such a huge issue in the Trump campaign from his critics. And to take that message from the critics and still go and present yourself humbly in an African-American church in front of others and speak to them about African-American issues, that when Republicans have failed to do this again and again, this is one of the complaints that the African-American community has had about the Republican Party for so long, that they have ignored the African-American voter. They don't come into the community. They don't come and speak to the issues that are affecting African-Americans. They don't do anything like that. Donald Trump comes in, sits down, listens, first of all, in a very humble fashion, and then secondly, speaks not just to the American people, but to the congregation themselves, thanking the bishop immensely, thanking the individuals for the experience that he had in learning, and then speaks to the issues that are affecting the inner city so eloquently. All the while protests going on outside. You know, people can protest, and people are going to protest. Many argue they are paid to protest. Many argue they are paid to protest here and troll. But, no. All I'm saying is that in the face of all of that controversy, Donald Trump today went down and had an excellent meeting. If you guys can see a replay of it, it's going to be on rsbn.tv. Go take a look at it. Watch Donald Trump speak. You don't have to debate whether was it good or was it bad. Go watch it. It's on the internet. You can watch it for yourself. Additionally, after the church meeting, Donald Trump spent some time in the community. They went with Ben Carson to go see Ben Carson's childhood home, which was another fascinating opportunity to watch Donald Trump in action, speaking to individuals, speaking to people around the community. Thank you. And just connecting with voters that he might not have contact with otherwise. So I'm just going to remember, I'm going to wait till you comment again. Actually, what I'm just going to do is write down your name so I know who to block. So go ahead, you comment all you want. Okay. I'll keep that up. So, absolutely interesting to watch the Ben Carson visit, mostly because you get to see Donald Trump actually interact with people who might not, he certainly didn't expect to meet these people. And they didn't necessarily expect to meet him. They're in the community. The owner of the home that Ben Carson once was his childhood home, the owner of the home now. So I got to spend some time talking with Donald Trump. And it's just really interesting to watch the man interact on a casual level with individuals. He's very graceful, very down to earth, and very personable. And you'll see that immensely in the two clips today. So go take a look at them, rsbn.tv. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure they'll have the Ben visiting the house coverage. They tend to do that. If not, you can probably Google it. It's going to be just about everywhere. So that's going to go. Now, tomorrow they're going to be all up in arms. Everyone's going to show all the division, everybody that got pissed off, just like the Mexico issue. But again, Donald Trump ahead of the media, ahead of the narrative, and certainly leading the media, not the other way around. In fact, if you don't believe me, do this. It's a fun little exercise. Do go into Google and type in Trump visits, and then see all the suggestions that come up. Because what you'll find is Donald Trump has gone a lot of places. Donald Trump visits Mexico. Donald Trump visits Louisiana. Donald Trump visits Orlando. Donald Trump visits Black Church. These are the things you'll see. You know why? Because Donald Trump is actually going and campaigning and talking to the voters and listening to the voters and hearing what's going on. Thank you. Deb's eating meatballs and ignoring trolls tonight. Boom. I wish I had meatballs. I wouldn't be able to talk very well with the meatballs. I'll have meatballs later. Meatballs later. Then now talking. Then meatballs. But you're really making me want to eat meatballs. So, I'm just saying, Donald Trump has been hitting the pavement and putting his money where his mouth is and putting his balls out, kind of taking risks that the media would certainly want to. They're going to mock him. They're going to mock no matter what. The media is out of control. They're going to turn and spin and turn and spin. But Donald Trump, it doesn't faze him. He keeps going. He keeps going. He's like a big, tall, kind of orange Energizer bunny. We just love him to death. I want to talk a minute about Marco Gutierrez, the head of Latinos for Trump. You might have heard a recent interview that he gave to MSNBC that was totally skewered because he mentioned something about if we allow just rampant and complete immigration, complete open borders, we'll basically turn America into Mexico, and there'll be a taco truck on every corner. And of course, the left-wing media has lost its mind. Everyone's making the joke about taco trucks in every corner. Everyone is humiliating this poor man who is merely trying to make the valid point that open borders not only affect our culture, but they certainly undermine the quality of life that we are presenting here. We have a culture that doesn't live in from hand to mouth. I mean, many of us do, and it's unfortunate, but the American culture is designed to have prosperity beyond that. And certainly, when we're all living off selling food carts to each other, we're certainly not doing that. There's a level of prosperity that is real in America that the open border ideology, unknowingly or knowingly, I don't know, maybe they know they're doing this to our country, decays. It decays the prosperity. It decays the overall social structure that allows us to live differently. This is what the man said. It doesn't matter because he's got news trucks camped out in front of his house. He's been harassed. It's affected his employment. Because, and the worst part about it, I go, and he's doing a live Facebook video earlier in the day, and I sat in to watch. The worst part is, and I'm sure this is also, we're going to talk about this in the African American community as well, the difference between, we're not going to listen to that. We're not going to listen to any of that, because we're not about that. Keeping track of who, I'm keeping track of you guys. So, it remains a real problem to watch in the community himself, the Latinos, fellow Latinos, turning against this man merely for advocating for his candidate. He did an interview, he answered a question, and this is what you get. You get the media smearing you, trying to ruin your life, trying to affect you negatively, and fellow Latinos judging you and hating on you, and the death threats. I mean, I'm watching the feed. People are threatening him. They tell him they hate him. They tell him all sorts of things. And so it's been an interesting journey because I've seen the same thing happen in the African American community with people who are supporting, with African Americans that are supporting Donald Trump. I've seen the exact same thing. You're an Uncle Tom. You're a traitor. It goes on and on and on. The vitriol, the vitriol is absolutely so powerful, particularly within these communities, within the individual communities. It has become dangerous for people to support Donald Trump. And yet, the proudest moment is watching a fellow Trumper, whether it's Rachel Casey, who was egged in San Diego, stand back up and go out and get hogs for Trump down in Florida and wave her flag. Whether it's Marco Gutierrez, who is head of Latinos for Trump, and he's supporting Trump, and he gets smeared on the news and literally has his life tried to be ruined out from underneath him, and he's still standing strong for Donald Trump. Again and again and again. C.J. Pearson, young individual, young African-American writer, speaker, supporting Donald Trump. He's getting his butt handed to him by the social media. The trolls are vicious. And yet that anger that they express towards us and just makes you support Donald Trump more. And it happened to me personally when we had the rally here in Chicago, and you could see the aggression against your opinion. And certainly that floated over into, other personal life issues. People had to file a police report and restraining order this year because people are so upset because you support Trump that they want to ruin your life. That's a reality we're living in. But we're not going to... Dan, I'm going to have to block you. You're totally being rude. I mean, I don't mean to be... you're more than welcome to start your own Periscope cast and tell rude jokes. And I don't mean hey, you know what? Tell race jokes. That's fine. That's funny. It's great. Don Rickles does a great job. But please, I'm going to block you from my show because we're not here to talk race jokes. We're here to talk about Donald Trump and the campaign. So if you're not here to listen, you're just going to get blocked. And I've made several points. Try to remember what I've talked about. How about this? You tell me what I've talked about. You tell me what I've talked about. I've talked about at least 3 different topics. What are they? Have you heard any one of them? Not one of those topics. Have you heard anything? Is there a possibility? Oh, yeah, good. I didn't realize you could block people right from the screen. People, I am sorry. I have learned something new today. If you touch on their little name, let's learn Periscope together, everybody. If you touch on their name, a little screen comes up and you can block them immediately. I didn't realize you could do that. Oh, this show just got better. So much better. Let's continue on. What I was talking about is how the media, how the media pressures, how the left has been vicious in their attacks on Trump supporters throughout the year. Absolutely mind-numbingly vicious. So it takes a bold person to stand up again and again in the face of all of that hate and all of that anger and all of this. You're boring, you have ugly teeth, you're fat, fuck Trump. It goes on. We all watch it. We're watching it in front of our faces. I'm telling you about it. That's what's so amazing. I'm literally watching trolls do the game. You suck. You're not saying anything. Nothing is relevant. That's what they're here to do. They're here to try to undermine your confidence, to undermine your ability to gather information. That's why you can't trust the polls. In addition to the fact that the pollsters are actually literally taking polls, weighting Democrats, taking the polls only in leftist cities. They're literally doing that to undermine us, to make us feel like we're not doing very well. You guys, we are doing great. Ipsos new poll has Trump tied. All of the major polls now, Reuters, Rasmussen, the IB, some international business or something business poll, and the Ipsos poll, all of these polls are now coming out tied in the general election. That's with the skewing. That's with the manipulation. That's with all of those things. They still cannot suppress the enthusiasm for Donald Trump. And if you don't believe that enthusiasm, all you have to do is look at a Hillary rally. Let's say that 10 times fast. Look at a Hillary rally. Look at a Hillary rally and look at a Donald Trump rally. And yes, Reuters had him up 49-31. Either tied, up a point, or only down a point. The new Ipsos poll has him up a point too. And as I have been saying the entire time, when you add Gary Johnson into the mix, it gets tighter or Trump goes up. Gary Johnson is taking votes from Hillary Clinton, not from Donald Trump. I've been saying this. The polls are showing it again and again and again. So, you guys are smart for listening to me. That's what I'm going to say. Absolutely. So, we're going to keep an eye on this going forward, particularly tomorrow and over the weekend when they start talking about the African American church and how crazy, blah, 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 the protests. Watch the speech. And you'll understand how important what happened in Detroit is today for the Donald Trump campaign. Welcome, you guys. I love this. You support Trump. No. What gives you that impression whatsoever? Yeah, I do. So, I want to thank Michael Lane from Like It or Not with Michael Lane for having me on his show on Smack Tongue Radio. I will post that link also on the Trump Talk page. He interviewed me talking about Trump Talk and the election. Did an absolutely fabulous interview. He's a great patriot and does a wonderful job with his radio program. And we thank him immensely for the very positive things he said about Donald Trump. And not just Donald Trump, but about Trump Talk, about the show, and about yours truly, the host. So I will certainly post that. You all should take a listen to it. And go ahead and follow Michael Lane on YouTube or on his Facebook page, because he's certainly, he's a conservative. He's a black conservative in Chicago, and certainly on the front lines of some very interesting aspects of the election and, of course, our political situation. So, yeah, we're actually right. I'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to do rallies, and let's do question and answer quickly, because I would love to talk about that. Virginia Beach, Virginia. Donald Trump will be on Tuesday at Virginia Beach, Virginia at 2 p.m. Also on Tuesday, he will be in Greenville, North Carolina at 7 p.m. On Friday, he will be in Pensacola, Florida at 7 p.m. There's got to obviously be something that goes on in between there. I don't know what it is. I haven't found out yet. But there's never a gap in Trump's schedule like this. So something's happening. We'll find out. Saturday, Fayetteville, North Carolina. These are Mike's dates. Mike Pence is going to be speaking in Fayetteville, North Carolina at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And on Tuesday, 2 dates, Springfield, Missouri at 10:30 a.m. and Chesterfield, Missouri at 1:30 p.m. So, let's do some question and answers. If you have any question and answers, I'm happy to answer that. And then we'll bust into, oh my gosh, I wish we could have a Trump rally in Chicago so badly. We are continuing to tweet the Trump campaign, to contact the Trump campaign in every possible way to get a Trump rally here. I haven't come up with a good hashtag, Trump come back to Chicago, but it's all too long. So as soon as I come up with a quick, like, Trump to the chai. Okay, we'll let everyone catch back up. Periscope has been doing this thing where it freezes the middle of the video. I'm going to just let everybody catch back up. So it freezes you. Welcome back, Deb. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Periscope has been doing this thing where it freezes up halfway through your program, and that way they don't have to say that you did really well, you've got a lot of viewers. They don't want to record down. I love Trump the Chai. I'm going to use that. I'm totally going with that. We certainly need to get Donald Trump to come back here. He's talking a lot. Brian, we have a chance because he's talking a lot about urban violence and the shootings here in Chicago, and I certainly think that there's a good chance we can get him to come back. The first rally, you just can't let the leftists win. If for anything, it's the only rally that's been shut down by leftists, so you can't let that stand. So I think he'll come back. So let's do a little more question and answer now that we have everybody back, or most everybody back, because Periscope, they don't like Trump. I'm embarrassed. I would be embarrassed too if I didn't stand there for 3 hours fighting with those people. I'm proud of the other Chicagoans and Chicagoland area people that stood with me. And so, am I embarrassed of my city? Well, yeah, we elected Rahm Emanuel, so that was pretty embarrassing. We do a lot of embarrassing things in the city, but Chicago is a great city, and the same for Detroit. A great city with great history and a great passion and drive, and the people very, very strong, very driven individuals. But we're on the plantation. We're doomed. We're trapped in these liberal bastions, and we've got to do something. And hopefully, this election will certainly shake up that mix a little bit. And Donald Trump going down to Detroit, great sign. Hopefully, we can get him to come back to Chicago, talk about some of the violence that's going on and what we can do to make things different. Yeah, definitely the liberal bastions very blindly led. Anybody who's going to vote for Hillary. Why are so many people getting murdered there? We have rampant gang crime in the city. Anybody who is not familiar with the city of Chicago, it's very divided neighborhood wise, different nationalities in different neighborhoods. Although many neighborhoods are still very mixed, but economically less mixed. Obviously, very poor neighborhoods. These neighborhoods rampant with gang crime. Too much gun control. So the only criminals we're not stopping our crime. We can't really defend ourselves. And Chicago fights very hard to make sure legal gun owners are not a thing. All the while, illegal guns are rampant on our city, roaming everywhere. We have tons of them, and we have generations now of individuals who have been addicted to living on welfare, living on government programs. We don't have fathers in the homes. The family is decayed. And even where it is the neighborhood is decayed. You see the churches have fallen down. You see the schools are in bad. There's not school choice. Parents are struggling to try to put their kids in safe schools. All the while, the gang culture that is rampant in our city has done so much damage. We need Second Amendment rights, but we also need a restoration of the family. We need a restoration of the community. We need a restoration of thinking of the individual's life as important again, because we've thought so much in demographics. We have taught the African American youth in this city and many other cities that their lives don't matter. That's why they say Black Lives Matter, because they think their lives don't matter, because they don't have jobs, they don't have their fathers, sometimes they don't have their mothers. They feel desperate. And of course they would in the neighborhoods that they are. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have to pull up your big boy britches and get a life for yourself. That's always true in America. But we as Americans are certainly providing a very negative experience, and we're getting a negative result. We continue to do the same negative experience and same negative result. More welfare, more dependency, less jobs leads to more gangs, more crime, and more death. And that's just what it is. So certainly rough, and it's sad to see great cities like Detroit and indeed Chicago struggle so desperately with such a devastating problem. I'm sick of driving around on the south side and seeing lots of traffic, not because there's festivals or shopping, but because there's funerals. I'm sick of that. So any more questions, and we'll do my Trump reason of the day. Give everybody a second. Let's do Trump reason, you guys. Let's totally do it. Trump reason of the day. Bravery. I'm voting for Donald Trump because he is brave. He is a brave man. Not only is the man risking his life, as we all know the death threats rampant, and we've seen them, okay? There's been physical attempts on his life openly in front of Secret Service. We trap them, catch them. So in addition to putting his own life on the line, he's put his reputation and his name on the line. And even in the face of hate, vast protest, hatred, anger, vicious, that's funny, vicious vitriol and lies about Mr. Trump, he still goes to these places and talks face to face. He's not afraid to go and talk to the Mexican president, who everyone's, oh, how could he talk to the Mexican president after saying he wants to build a wall and deport the illegals? Because those are rational positions, and he's willing to stand up for them. He's brave enough to stand up for his positions and go actually talk to the president of Mexico and address those issues. Additionally, he's willing to stand up to the charge of he's a racist and not for the black community, and go and talk to individuals in the African American community and make himself available. He's not afraid of these things. And frankly, many of us would be. We would face this whole election with much more trepidation. But Donald Trump has put himself in positions that I've seen no Republican willing to put themselves in. And he has done that not because it helps Mr. Trump. It hurts Mr. Trump. It's hurt his businesses. It's negatively affected all of those things. But it helps America. He's being brave for us. That's the reason to vote for him. If I do say so myself. I think he's made me more brave too, Deb. Deb says he has made me more brave. I think he has made me more brave too. I think he is encouraging the Americans who believe in what America stands for to stand up and to fight for that, to speak out for that. And it's so important. That's how we're going to take this country back, is by restoring that American passion and commitment and pride that we had for so long and lost because too many apology tours and junk like that. So the interview that Donald Trump did with Bishop Wayne Jackson will be aired a week from now. So no one got to see it and hear anything about it. It's all hush hush. So we should be very excited to see how that interview went down. And it should be very exciting. Let's do Trump Hotties. My Trump Hottie today comes from Detroit. She attended the meeting with Donald Trump. And here we go. This is I didn't catch her name. I never do the hottie's name, but I love them nonetheless. Oh, isn't she beautiful? Look at that smile. Doesn't she have a great smile? Like, she's a super great smile. She's like one of those smiles that you'd see like in the picture frame picture before you put a picture in it. Like just one of those, hey, I'm a happy person. Don't you want to put a happy picture in this photo frame? Love it. Trump Party of the day. So that's our show for everybody. You can tune in. You can follow me on Twitter at Trumpetarian on Twitter. Of course, you can email the show, trumptalkus@gmail.com. You can see all of our back episodes, www.trumptalk.us. We did a special edition yesterday about Donald Trump's immigration speech. So that all 10 points, we break that down. You might want to take a listen to that. It's only 15 minutes. It's pretty short. And of course, if you have not downloaded the America First app, you should. It's great. If you do, use my app code, my invite code, XZ3J7, and I get points, and they mean nothing, but it makes me happy. So, whew. It's been a good day to be Trumpers, you guys. Good day to be Trumpers. 66 more days. We got this, booze. We got this. High five. I'll see you again on Monday. Have a great Sunday, and we'll have more Trump to do in a couple days. See you soon. Have a good night. Isn't that funny when it doesn't